Hi everyone, this is Mark Campos. This is my final presentation for Practicum, Building Leadership Practicum for Spring 2014 at Fort Hays State. Table of contents, personal intro is going to be slide 3, philosophy statement slide 4, major objective 5, activity log, which I'm going to breeze through, slide 6, supporting documentation, I'm going to breeze through that as well, slide 31, and then get into summary reflection in 40, bibliography at 43, and the evaluation forms at 45. Personal intro, like I said, my name is Mark Campos. Currently, I'm working with my wife, Nicole, and we own a chain of 5 retail boutiques across Kansas. It's called Bling. You may or may not have heard of it. We have stores in Scott City, Garden City, Hayes, Salina, and Manhattan, and we just recently relaunched our online store as well. Been doing this now for almost 2 years. Before that, I was working at Garden City Community College in the GED program as the coordinator there for a year. And before that, I was 4 years at the Scott City School District as the ESL coordinator. This is my last class in the administration program. And with this class, I want to gain insight and firsthand experience on what it takes to be an athletic director and school principal, assistant school principal. I have had some experience before supervising sporting events in the past when I was at the school district, especially, and then at the community college level, and also recently working with my wife here at the store in Scott. So I've had some, like I said, experience in the past supervising events, but I want to know what it takes, to go behind the scenes and do what it needs to happen to make those events happen. And this class given me the opportunity to learn that. Philosophy statement, kind of took this from our store company philosophy statements, just kind of changed things a little bit, but it still applies nonetheless. Leadership is about creating an environment that brings out the best in people, accomplishing goals, and making each student, staff, and school successful, leading by example with compassion and honesty to meet the needs of a school and community. Tough decisions need to be made. I'm not going to shy away from those, but I will seek the input and suggestion of others. I also believe in honesty, respect, accountability, and teamwork. Major objective, talked about this a little bit. I want to understand the role and responsibilities of an athletic director, assistant principal. This is something that I can see myself doing here in the near future. And I want to learn about what it takes to be a school athletic director. There are many things that happen, just beyond supervising athletic events. I want to know what needs to happen to make those events, take place, and also know what it has to be done for the assistant principal side, because I know that a lot of times the principal plate's full, that the principal relies on the assistant principal to help out. So I know that's going to be something as well. Activities log, I'm going to kind of breeze through this a little bit, save some time. Activity 1, site council meeting at the elementary level. Activity 2, talk with our superintendent at the district about negotiated agreements. Activity 3, supervised home basketball game. Activity 4, did a teacher evaluation with our grade school principal. Activity 5, help supervise a home forensics meet. Activity 6, talk with our principal about eligibility reports. Activity 7, worked with our athletic director for the week to prepare for a home basketball game. Activity 8, went to a high school IEP meeting for a student. Activity 9, went to a team meeting at the elementary school. Activity 10, talked about food service with our superintendent. Activity 11, talked with our superintendent about transportation. Activity 12, attended a principals league meeting that was here in Scott City. Activity 13, attended a school board meeting. 14, went with our high school principal on a couple walkthroughs through the building. Number 15, with our elementary principal, I went to a principal's council meeting at the Southwest Regional Plain Service Center in Sublette. Activity 16, talked with our uh, virtual learning instructor about the Ingenuity program. Activity 17, worked with our athletic director to prepare and supervise for a couple of home baseball games. Activity 18, same thing for a couple home softball games. Activity 19, talked with our superintendent about finances as it relate to activity funds. Activity 20, attended a booster club meeting. 21, attended a site council meeting at the high school. 22, supervised and prepared for a home track meet. 23, sat in on a coach's evaluation. 24 was part of a community roundtable meeting representing the school district. And activity 25, going to conduct some parental interviews for our grade school principal to get some information for her for some work that she's doing. Some supporting documentation that I have. You can kind of see some agendas and some pictures of some home basketball games, some more basketball games that were taking place. Teacher evaluation forms, the new model, the old model that we use, forensics coaching meeting, the eligibility report, the preparation sheet that I needed to get through to prepare for the home basketball game, and some pictures. Next, the IEP form, the topic for the team meeting at the grade school, food service application forms. One of the pictures didn't come in very well. Sorry about that. The Edgenuity program, there's a little link that you can click on as well. It kind of shows you a video of what it's about. Board of Education agenda meetings, high school walkthrough form, principals council meeting agenda. A couple pictures of home baseball and softball games. Next is going to be some home track meet pictures. And then finally, we're going to end up with, went too far. End up with a booster club meeting agenda, high school council meeting agenda, the coaches evaluation form, the community roundtable meeting agenda, and the parent interview questionnaire. So those are my supporting documents. Reflection summary. When I began this practicum, I wanted to learn about the role and responsibility of an athletic director, assistant principal. At first, I kind of thought it was rather easy job and it was not too difficult. Quickly learned that it was clearly not the case. I focused the majority of the activities on things that an athletic director would do in the school district. The role of an athletic director is an extension of the principal. They share the vision of learning for the school and help with whatever they can. The AD is not, or does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Before I thought they just scheduled games and supervised the events, but quickly learned that that's a lot more to it. The school culture here is one of high expectations with regard to our boys' athletics. Have had some very successful teams in the past with boys basketball, football, wrestling, track, cross country. So maintaining that culture of high expectations is part of the role of the athletic director, and there's a lot of things that need to be taken care of to make sure that those activities are well taken care of and set up well for everyone involved. Not everyone sees what goes on or what needs to happen. A lot of the success of these events comes from the people that help work these events. A lot of the times, the athletic director is basically at the mercy of what people say they will help, and that's one of the things that really kind of frustrates him a lot. Our athletic director is that he'll find people to commit to working and helping out at these events, and then at the last minute, for whatever reason, say they can't. So he really has to scramble to find new help for it, or usually ends up doing it himself. So that's really a big pain in the butt that he has to deal with. Constantly he's always having to rely on other people. But for the most part, there's a lot of people here in the community that are willing to step up and help out. So the working relationship for the school district and the community is very good. And so there's very few instances where we have to scrounge around to find people, but it does happen every once in a while. Um, Not everything involving the AD is strictly on the athletic side of things. He's also an assistant principal. With that comes a lot of responsibility with regards to teacher and coaches. It's important to maintain an ethical and fair judgment on teachers, just as they would for coaches. Overall, the role and responsibilities of the AD is a lot more than what I thought. It was. Being more than just a supervisor at athletic events is just the minimum of what an AD does. Along with the principal, they have to be mindful of the big picture of things as it relates to the overall view of the school and the community. So it was a very eye-opening experience for me to kind of know more about what our athletic director does. These are some articles that I found that kind of talked about some things that I experienced with my practicum as well. Not everything about the supervising of sporting athletic events and everything sporting events, but more of the other things that I talked about. With food service, transportation, virtual learning, building rapport with the community and parents. So a lot of different articles that I found that way. And these are the summative forms that I had signed by all four of my field supervisors that I had, the superintendent, Bill Wilson, and our elementary school principal, Sean Roberts, when I worked with them. And then also forms signed by our high school principal, Shelley Turner, and the person that I worked with the most, our athletic director, Randy Huck. So this was my final presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everyone else learned as much from this class as I have. Thanks.